you're over braids, plaits, barrettes, you think you're grown. Hey, what up? It is your girl MD and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button before you head out. So I started my channel 7 years ago. This January it will be 8. I can't believe it has been that long. And the very first video that I ever uploaded was my hair journey. It's not really a video, it's more like a slideshow, literally with pictures and just words. I thought that this would be a great time to do an updated version since I always get questions about my hair journey. Has your hair ever been shorter? Did you get a relaxer? Did you transition? Did you big chop? Has your hair ever been damaged? Yes to all those things. So I'm going to tell you guys my hair journey from beginning to present, and through each stage I am going to also give you guys some tips, tricks, and recommendations just for each stage of your hair journey. Get ready for the embarrassing pictures. Ready, set, go. So my Nana had a salon that was attached to my grandparents' home when we all lived in New York, and I spent many a weekends and days after school in her salon. I'll definitely say that that is where my foundation to all of this began. It was my mom and my Nana that solely took care of my hair until I was about 11 or 12. Around the time I was a preteen, that is when I started asking for a relaxer. Well, my mom eventually caved and I ended up getting a texturizer when I was 13. Somewhere within my teen years, one of the stylists that I was going to ended up giving me a full-blown relaxer without my consent, so that happened. So from that time forward, I was just getting relaxers. So we moved about 3 hours from New York when I was around 11 and 12, so that is why like my grandmother wasn't really my sole like hairstylist anymore, and I started going to other people. I feel like growing up, my hair was relatively healthy. Yes, there was a chemical in it, but I was going to a beautician every 2 weeks. Story, I always thought everyone got burnt when they got a relaxer, and it wasn't until recently I was talking to one of my friends about it, and she was like, no, Melissa, that is not normal. I may have gotten burnt once in a blue moon. And I was like, really? I got burnt every time. I would pretend that I wasn't burning just so like I could get it nice and straight, but yeah, I was on fire the whole time. And I was using the sensitive one. Anyways, it wasn't until I went to college that my hair care became solely my responsibility, more or less. Yeah, I would still go to the hairdresser when I would go home, but I was away at college more than I was at home. Being away at school was very much an eye-opener as far as my hair because I knew absolutely nothing about taking care of it. I was flat ironing and blow drying. I don't even think I knew what heat protectant was. Like I absolutely did not know what heat protectant was. And then at some point after my first semester, I came home for a break and I had to get so much of my hair cut off because it was so broken and damaged. That was the shortest my hair has ever been. It was right at my chin. Tip number 1, regardless of where you are in your journey, always use heat protectant. Fast forward a few years, I eventually moved off campus with 4 girls, and one of my roommates were like, we should all stop getting relaxers. At that time, I don't think any of us knew anyone that was natural, and if they were still definitely flat ironing their hair. So no relaxers was a very foreign concept to me. This was before YouTube. There was a handful of blogs here and there talking about hair care, but there wasn't a ton. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Kiss, but it's Keep It Simple Sister. But she really was such an innovator back then when it comes to just like the natural hair community and just like social media, because she had like her site was very much like a Facebook, a MySpace, and it was all people on there just talking about hair care. And so that is really where a lot of me and my roommates at the time that we got so much knowledge was from other people. So yeah, like I said, it was before YouTube. And there was another hair blogger, I wish I knew that woman's name, but she is the one that got me into the Alpha G2 step. She had, I think like 4B, 4C hair, where her hair was down to her butt, and she was so like adamant on Alpha G2 step. And she was like, I do this every single month, like this is why my hair is so long. And Alpha G was honestly the one product that has stuck with me from the very beginning of like my natural hair journey to now, and it's because of her. I hope that people always comment and say that natural hair is very much trial and error. Well, this was like the dark ages trial and error. There weren't products that catered to our natural hair. There was literally no information. We would go to the store and just be like, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, those are cute, let's get them. Like we were very big on using Garnier, and we only used it because we liked the green bottles in our bathroom. Still flat ironing my hair all the time at this stage, and probably for the next couple of years. Curl pattern wasn't something that was honestly in my mind. It was more so, okay, I'm not getting relaxers anymore. And you have to keep in mind there wasn't a flood of images of people with natural hair online like there is now, so I didn't even have like a vision of what that was. If you're struggling with finding products that suit you or that you like, I would definitely start by looking at the ingredients. All natural is honestly a great route to go. Find somebody that has the same porosity and similar texture to yours and see the products that work well for them and try and go down that route. It might work for you, it might not, but it is a great place to start. I will say one of the reasons in the early years that I was still straightening my hair all the time is because I wasn't confident to rock my natural hair. Remember, I put it down on my bucket list one year, go outside with the curly hair out. That's laughable and sad to think about it now, but it also makes me proud that we have so many images of black and brown people rocking their natural hair, and in turn, hopefully that is going to give other people confidence and reassurance that they can do it too. Confidence is something that you struggle with when it comes to wearing your natural hair out like I did. Start with doing maybe braid outs or twist outs. And I honestly did that for maybe a solid year or two, and what that did for me is that it slowly transitioned me into being comfortable with wearing textured hair. Because I just wasn't used to having literally any texture in my hair. I had like bone straight, part in the middle, that's all. Like, no, I don't want no curls, like straight. And so yeah, as the years are going by, I'm becoming more knowledgeable about my hair and just hair care in general, what it needs. More products are coming out on the market that are catering to our natural hair. And eventually I stopped putting heat in my hair 24/7. And when I mean 24/7, I mean like every 2 weeks. Like I would wash my hair like every 2 or 3 weeks, and then I would flat iron it, and then I would do it again in the next like 2 or 3 weeks. I also learned about this thing called a braid out. Braid outs honestly saved me when I was transitioning. That and protein treatments. I didn't big chop, I just did larger trims. If you're transitioning, meaning you're growing your relaxer out, so you're transitioning from relaxed hair to natural hair, and you're not looking to cut off the relaxed part, find a style that works for you. So if you're not looking to like install braids or something along those lines, think about braid outs or twist outs. Or you could do roller set, flexi rods, stuff like that. If I had to do it all over again, I think that I probably would have big chopped just so I could have experienced like shorter hair. Obviously it's a faster process that way, it's less complicated because it's honestly such like, it could be a hassle transitioning. Like it honestly is, because your hair is so damaged, your hair is like super weak. If you just cut it off, you just start from scratch. Okay, where am I in the story? So I'm transitioning, I'm learning so much about my hair and just hair in general. I'm doing braid outs on a regular. I'm no longer going in to see a stylist because I don't trust nobody but my nana. But as far as a stylist, what I was doing is every 3 months I would go in for a trim. So every 3 months I would flat iron my hair, and I would go in and have them trim it. She would ask me, she was like, is this too much? I was like, no, that's fine, you can trim it. And so that was just our routine for at least like maybe a year or two. But yeah, that is when my hair started growing really long. It was during that time that I decided that I wanted to see if my hair could grow to tailbone length. It was more so, I want to see how long my hair can get. So one of my #1 tips for a person that is transitioning is protein treatments, Alpha G 2-step. I know there's other ones on the market, but honestly, I really don't think that any other protein treatment on the market compares. So say this is new growth and the rest of this hair is relaxed. Right where the two meet is extremely weak. Protein treatments are going to act like a bandage and strengthen it. Like also, if you have slightly damaged hair, protein treatments are a lifesaver as well, because it is going to slowly heal your curls back to life. Also, like I mentioned earlier, find a go-to hairstyle that is going to help both textures look more uniform. For those that are interested in hair type, the front of my hair is a 3B, but the majority of my hair is a 3C, and we do got some 4A sprinkled in there as well. So I set the goal for tailbone length, or really as long as possible. We reached that. Someone recently made a comment that they felt like my hair used to be a lot longer than it was now, and they are absolutely right, because I was honestly getting trims every 3 months like clockwork. I moved, I went to someone different, and honestly they were just very scissor happy every single time. So within the last 3 years I moved, and it has solely been my responsibility to take care of my trims. And obviously I'm not clearly getting the job done. Like I will go to my nana every once in a blue moon and she'll do it. But yeah, I'm not like obviously getting like a good trim. I went all of 2020 and I didn't get a trim at all. And I didn't realize that until like the year had passed. And I was like, oh my God, I haven't trimmed my hair all year. Because I'm not a person that gets my hair trimmed when it's curly. I always will flat iron it and then either get it trimmed or whatever. So for me and my hair, I'm able to retain the most length when I'm getting my hair trimmed every 12 weeks. Everyone is different. Figure out what works best for you. I know there's some people that have extremely long natural hair and they get trims once a year. I could never honestly do that. Every 4 weeks I was doing protein treatments, and I stuck to that routine for years. So yeah, make sure you're sticking to a solid regimen and you are deep conditioning weekly. Make sure you are doing a good quality routine to lock in the moisture. I do the lock method. It's crazy to look back at some of these pictures because back then people used to think that my hair was so long and so thick. And that, looking at that mess that is on my head is embarrassing and a hot mess. So to answer your question, yes, my hair has been thin, my hair has been short, my hair has been broken, my hair has been damaged, my hair has been a hot mess. Once my hair was at this point, it was looking really healthy and people were noticing and asking questions. My peers on Facebook, strangers, and they all would say the same thing. What do you do to your hair? Can you help me? Do you have a YouTube channel? This part isn't totally about my hair, but it is a major part in my journey and brings everything full circle. So eventually I had this email draft saved with my routine, all the product recommendations, and when someone would reach out to me, I would just copy and paste. The end of those conversations would always be like, do you have a YouTube channel? You should make one. And I'd always would be like, oh no, never, that's not me, that's like so not my personality. And this went on for 2 years straight of just people hounding me about making a channel. I feel like I told you guys this part of the story before. It's kind of random, but it will make sense in a minute. Every year on my birthday, I make New Year's resolutions. It's usually a list of like 10 things. I'll jot it in the back of my journal, and then at the end of the year, I'll look back on it, and typically I've done absolutely nothing on that list. I decided I wasn't going to do any more resolutions, and I was just going to stick with the theme. But it was something along the lines that I was no longer going to be a prisoner of fear. My birthday is in October. Shout out to all the Libras. So I randomly woke up out of my sleep one night in December, and I was like, I'm gonna make a YouTube channel. I didn't like that something as small as YouTube was making me fearful and holding me back. And a few weeks later, I uploaded my first video. When people ask why I started, I say because I was scared. Literally. I came into this, I never expected it to turn into what it is. I don't even think I knew that people were getting paid. I mean, maybe I did. I don't remember. Clearly, I still have a very long way in my career to go, but just imagine if I was like, no, I'm not gonna do this. Now I am able to work for myself. My online, I guess, career is what sustains me. It pays my bills. And that is how my channel came about and how I ended up on your computer or your phone, whatever you're watching it from. All in all, you just want to make sure that you have a solid regimen. It doesn't have to be anything honestly complicated. You want to make sure that you are washing your hair every like 7 to 10 days. Shampoo, conditioner, deep conditioner. Afterwards, you want to make sure that you are locking in your moisture, whatever that looks like for you. And then you want to make sure that you're styling your hair like that is going to last you hopefully like for the week. Whether you're transitioning or whether you're fully natural. If you're doing a protective style, make sure it's going in properly. And then internally, make sure you're eating things that are going to fuel your hair. Make sure you're drinking water. Make sure you're taking vitamins if that's your thing. Collagen is something great that you can add on. Oh yeah, protein treatments always. That is my hair journey in a nutshell. Obviously, it has not always been perfect. It still isn't perfect and never will be perfect. Regardless of where you are in your journey, stay encouraged, be patient. You should always focus on having healthy hair first. Healthy hair, everything else will follow. Hopefully I gave you guys enough solid advice and gems. If you need a little bit more, I'm sure I've covered it at some point on my channel. I will leave a list of like video recommendations for you guys to check out. And so thank you so much for watching, and like always, I love you, I appreciate you, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.